Hi, I'm Sinan. I'm SK the Crusader on Twitch, and I wanted to make a video reflecting on 2020, mostly because I was inspired by mutuals and friends who decided to list their many achievements in 2020, and I was kind of in awe of what they did, so I just wanted to make a video about it just because I wanted to give it a bit more of a personal touch. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know this is a re-recording because the first version had way too much cringe and was a little bit miserable. And now that we've had the news of Tier 4, I'm recording this on the 22nd of December, I wanted to put something a bit more cheerful out there as we head into 2021. So, I'm going to split this video into three sections. What went well in 2020, some fun numbers about what I did in 2020, and some goals and hopes for 2021. Let's get started. So, what went well in 2020? I didn't get the job that I was planning to have. If you'd asked me in 2019 to do this video, I would have said I would quite like a regular job that pays me a regular amount of money. I didn't get that, but I did have quite a lot of interest from employers, and I even got a little bit of freelance work that I was quite happy with. I can't talk about it necessarily, but I was happy with it, and it was a project I enjoyed, and I hope I get asked to do it again sometime. Fingers crossed. I have a lot more followers on Twitter somehow, so that's good, possibly related to the lack of job and the relentless poster's brain that I do suffer from, but I suspect if you're watching this, you too might suffer from poster's brain. So we can suffer together at least. Onto the more serious stuff, I actually began Twitch streaming. So for a long time I had the channel, and I just sort of did nothing with it, and I kept it in my bio, just like there for people to follow me on if they thought I would ever do something with it. I bet no one thought I would do something with it. And I did it, and it's actually grown into my first consistent, if modest, income in my adult life, which perhaps says something about the economic system we exist in, that I can't get the proper full-time functional work. But Twitch, yeah, I can actually get paid to do that, but that may be a topic for another video. I reached, as of recording, 800 followers. I actually have a little bit more than 800 followers, but 800 was the goal I had when I started realizing that it was growing and that Twitch was becoming a thing that I could actually do. And I hit 800 a little bit earlier in the month, meaning that anyone who follows now as a result of this video, you're just making the goals section, which we'll get to, much easier for me. I made my first podcast appearances. There might be 3 out by the new year. Who can say? Depends on the editing schedule. But I also host a podcast now, the Knots Momentum podcast, and I have a really good time doing that. And hopefully, we'll have a more regular content schedule for that, and we might even be recording some together. That's going to be ridiculously good fun if we start recording them in person, like we can exist in the same room as each other. Damn, that's going to rule. I'm excited for it. But that's perhaps, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, because it's time to talk about some of the fun numbers that I've put together about this year. So, put together some fun numbers for us. Let's see. The top stream this year had 69 average viewers. Nice. It's also my most viewed video on YouTube as of recording. It's Why is British Comedy So Awful? I'm going to put one of them link things up that takes you to it. It's fantastic. We couldn't really get a grip on exactly why, but it's bad, and it's going to keep being bad. Sorry to break the bad news to you all. But my most viewed video on either platform was the stream with Jack from Realpolitik, reviewing Owen Jones' book, This Land. It had something like 750 views on Twitch, and so for context, usually one of my panel streams, they breach 400 sometimes in their entire lifespan, so that was quite a bit more popular than I thought. And it's now available on YouTube as well, so I'll put another one of them link things on here if I figure out how. How do I rotate PDF with some of this stuff, as you're going to see from the editing of this later. But there's also some more interesting numbers. Since I started streaming, 453,293 minutes of me talking absolute nonsense and playing ridiculous games has been watched live. That's 7,554.9 hours, which is huge. It's an unfathomably huge amount of time, and I'm so grateful, and it's so ridiculous that people are willing to do that. It's awesome, and I'm really grateful. And just to put that number into some kind of practical context, in order to walk from my flat currently to where my parents live, it would take 40 hours of walking, or thereabouts, and it means I can walk there and back in around 94 times if I had that amount of time on my hands, which I don't, which is why I keep streaming and I keep to the strict schedule. And I'm not planning to walk there and back 94 times. Maybe if we ever reach 1 million subscribers on this channel, we'll see. We'll talk about it. We can always negotiate. I find that's a good attitude to go into life with. But now it's time for my goals and hopes for 2021. So, goals and hopes for 2021. If you've been following me on Twitter, you know that I have accidentally started making graphics for t-shirts. I don't know how that started happening. I'm not entirely sure about why and how that's happened, but it's happened, and I'm hoping to launch a Teespring next year, possibly January the 2nd. Don't hold me to it. But that is the provisional date that's in my calendar, and I want to launch it with at least 3 designs and have it reach 10 designs by the end of the year. It's not really a serious commercial endeavor, it's just me making something that I find fun and just sharing some fun moments in the stream with people. I've got quite a few ideas, and of course I have the subscriber only Discord where people can recommend and request designs, and of course if it's within my power I will try my best to make it for them. No promises, I'm not very good at graphics either. This is just a long form project to see how poorly I could do art and get away with it, and it looks like I might be able to get away with it quite a bit, so fingers crossed everyone. But seriously, I'm gonna try my best with them. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind online, as the great Simon Hedges would advise you. I want to reach 2,000 followers on Twitch by December 2021 and reach partners, so that would mean I need to gain around 1,200 followers net, 100 a month. And in order to reach partner, I'm hovering around the mid-30s in average viewership in normal times, because December is weird and we all want to see our families and spend time with our families, apparently. I'm assuming. So, yeah, big goals, doubling almost all of my metrics, but I figure it's best to be ambitious and see where we stand come the end of 2021. I also want to get a notable politician on the stream. I don't think that's entirely likely. I think getting a notable politician onto the stream is a tall order, but I'll give it a try, certainly. And if you have anyone you want me to try and get on, I'm definitely going to try and get them on. I also wanted to get a somewhat serious piece of writing published somewhere. I do have something in the works. It's about the AOC Ilhan Omar going on streams playing Among Us thing, and some of my thoughts on that. And if you're watching this, the person who I'm writing that for, I will have it done soon. It's just been a difficult time of year. You know, that's just how life works. Sometimes, I don't know. It's hard to write, but I'm going to try and get at least something serious published next year. Maybe 2 things, maybe 3. Now we're on to slightly more personal goals. So I want to have some kind of stability in my life, income-wise, preferably by having an actual job, but if it's Twitch, it's Twitch. We're going to move on. Oh, wait, no, yeah, the next one is moving to a nicer place. Look, if you're long-time viewers, you will know this is just my actual flat. It all looks this terrible. You know, there's my drying rack over here. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. And so a larger place with a space for me to actually do some streaming would be quite nice. And you know, it would improve the product here now. I'd actually be able to record things more often because I'd have a space where I'd be able to do it. If there's, you know, this is the closest I'm going to get to being negative, but if there's something that's quite hard, it's having a partner who's in the same room as you all the time. And, you know, when you're doing content stuff and you have to talk. So, especially when they're doing work and they have to do a PhD. Come on. Like, you think I wouldn't be doing this kind of thing all the time if I had the chance, or at least a room where I could do it? But the ultimate hope, really, for me in 2021 is just being able to spend some time with friends in person without worrying that we're going to pass on a deadly virus to each other. Fingers crossed that come 2021, we'll have some kind of way out of all of this. Now, of course, in the UK, there's a particular pessimism that will come because the government's terrible, but that's a whole other thing and not really within the scope of this video. But we're going to move on to the final word from me. the final word from me. So really all I want to say as we head into 2021 is I hope you, all of you watching, even people who aren't watching, I'll be kind about it. Have a fantastic new year, a much better, a much kinder year than 2020 was to a lot of us. And I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for following me on Twitch if you do that. Thank you for spending any amount of time regarding the content I pump out non-stop, because it's not necessarily the finest and most refined work, but it's something I do put effort into, and I appreciate any views and any interaction. So thank you.